Iceland, the land of fire and ice, is a land that surprises all those who come to glimpse its spectacular beauty. From the magical shinning of aurora borealis, glacial lagoons, scenic black sand beaches, islands rising from the bottom of the sea as a reminder of the volcanic origin of this great nation. Surrounded by fjords that seem to be created like the background of an epic movie. Today we invite you to explore together Iceland. This is 25 interesting facts about Iceland. Let's start. Number 1. Iceland is an island European country, located in the North Atlantic Ocean, situated on a strategic location midway between North America and Europe. Iceland is about 287 kilometers southeast of Greenland's coast, and about 820 kilometers of Scotland. Its nearest European bodies of land are the Faroe Islands at 513 kilometers. Number 2. Iceland lies at the northern end of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a submarine ridge located along the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. It is the world's longest and most extensive mountain range, but it's located underwater, with just a few locations protruding above the surface of the ocean in the form of islands. Iceland is the most extensive portion of which that is exposed above sea level. Number 3. Regarding the previous section, the northern end of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is geologically relevant because it is the boundary where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates meet and separate. Amazingly, Iceland is the only place on Earth where you can stand between two continental plates. If you walk through the Thingvellir National Park, you will literally be walking in the very crack where two continental plates, the North American and the Eurasian, separate. Number 4. If walking between two continental plates does not amaze you, you can dive into the Sulphur Rift, also located in Thingvellir National Park, and touch both tectonic plates. In fact, the continental plates are separating at an average rate of about 2.5 centimeters per year, which means that in the last 10,000 years, the Thingvellir Rift Valley has widened 70 meters and sunk 40 meters. So in a sense, we could say that Iceland keeps getting 1 inch larger every year. Number 5. How big is Iceland? Iceland is 103,000 square kilometers. It's the second largest island in Europe. To have an idea of its area, it's about a half the size of Great Britain, the largest island in Europe, and about 1/4 larger than Ireland, the third largest island in Europe. If we want to compare its size with continental land, we can say that its size is similar to Hungary or Portugal, or the state of Ohio in America. Number 6. How did Iceland get its name? According to the sagas of Icelanders, the first name of Iceland was given by its first settler, a Viking named Nadadur, who arrived to the island in the 9th century. He was impressed by its heavy snowfalls and called the island Snowland or Sneeland. In fact, its current name was originated in a similar way. According to Icelander sagas, another of its first settlers, a Norwegian Viking called Floki, climbed a high mountain and impressed by seeing a fjord full of drift ice called the island Iceland, the official name of this beautiful country. Icelanders use a nickname to describe its wonderful country, the land of fire and ice. Number 7. The flag of Iceland was originated in the late 19th century, and it's used as its official flag since 1915. It has 3 colors that represents the essence of Iceland. The sky blue, that represents its mountains and the ocean. The red cross, that represents Christianity and the fire produced by its volcanoes. And a white cross, that recalls the ice and snow that covers Iceland. Number 8. Reykjavik is the most northern capital city in the world. It has a tiny population, around 122,000 people, but it's home to more than half of the Icelandic population. Reykjavik translates literally "smoky bay," referring to the steam that used to rise from its famous hot springs and geothermal vents. Reykjavik is among the cleanest, greenest, and safest cities in the world. Flight time from New York to Reykjavik is 5 hours 35 minutes and 2 hours and 55 minutes from London or Stockholm. Number 9. If driving is one of your favorite leisure activities, driving Iceland's Ring Road is a must-do drive. The Ring Road is a nickname of Route 1, Iceland's main motorway. About 1,328 kilometers, full of breathtaking landscapes and charming towns. And if a section bypassed for the Ring Road should be added to your road trip, it would definitely be the Ring Road 2, the West Fjords Way, a road along some of the beautiful fjords of Iceland. Number 10. Best places to visit in Iceland. Iceland is full of charming places. At this section, we would like to mention 3 of these places. Number 1, Reykjavik. Sometimes called Europe's whale-watching capital. The oldest settlement in Iceland, located on the north coast of Iceland and famous for whale-watching tours in Skjolfandi Bay, where you can watch up to 23 species of whale. Number 2, Blue Lagoon. An iconic spot just 40 minutes drive from Reykjavik, where you can take a thermal bath in a 6 million liters of geothermal seawater that is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The seawater contains algae, silica, and minerals with great benefits for your skin. Number 3, Reynisfjara. Maybe not one of the most visited, but one of the most beautiful fjords in the world, surrounded by a volcanic landscape. Creates one of the most impressive landscapes in our planet. Number 11. Iceland has been declared as the safest country on Earth. Due to its low crime and murder rate per capita, Iceland is so safe that even the police do not bear arms, because there is no need. Most people in Iceland see the police as a help and not a threat. There is also no army in Iceland, only the Icelandic Coast Guard, which also maintains the Icelandic air defense system. No one has bodyguards in Iceland, not even the president. Number 12. Most of Iceland's terrain consists of plateaus, mountain peaks, and fertile lowlands. Almost 80% of the country is uninhabited. As Iceland terrain is the result of volcanic activity, it has been shaped by magma and earthquakes. Iceland is land of volcanoes, but not only volcanoes have shaped its terrain but also glaciers. About 11% of the country is covered by glaciers. Iceland has about 269 named glaciers of almost all types. Ice caps, outlet glaciers, mountain glaciers, and others. Number 13. Talking more about Iceland geography. Iceland is a land of glaciers. Several glaciers areas are seen from space, but its most largest area is known as Vatnajokull. Vatna Glacier in English, it means glacier of lakes and is the largest and most voluminous ice cap in Iceland. It covers about 8% of Iceland territory, an area of 7,900 square kilometers, almost twice the area of the state of Rhode Island. The average thickness of the ice is 380 meters, with a maximum thickness of 950 meters. For trekking lovers, this is a unique trail of its kind. Number 14. Iceland is the land of ice and fire. Is one of the most geologically active places on Earth. Iceland is a land where freezing forces are in a constant battle against the Earth's explosive heat. Volcanoes have defined the nature of Iceland landmass. The fact that lava forms 11,000 square kilometers of it is proof of that. There are approximately 130 volcanoes in Iceland, active and inactive. Iceland's tallest volcano is called Vatnajökull. It sits under the ice cap of Vatnajökull. And its most famous volcano is the age of geological after its eruption in 2010, which caused a large-scale disruption of European flights. Number 15. Talking about volcanoes, in Iceland there is the most unique of all volcano tours. The Vatnajökull is the only volcano in the world where you can descend 120 meters and visit its enormous magma chamber of about 150,000 cubic meters without any risk of rash. The coloration of the chamber is impressive. The walls are shaded by the red of iron, the green of copper, and the yellow of sulfur. But the volcanic activity not only provides Iceland with a dramatic and scenic landscape, but also makes it to acquired new territory, as is the case of the Surtsey Island, one of the youngest islands on Earth, formed by a volcanic eruption, which took place off the southern coast of Iceland on October 14, 1963. Surtsey Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Recognized for the flora and fauna it sustains, Iceland's seascape is dotted with beautiful volcanic islands, islets, and rocks. If in most countries people need to heat the water to use it at home, in Iceland is the opposite case. People need to cool the water, as geothermal water is used to heat around 90% of Iceland's homes. Iceland is a global leader in the use of geothermal energy for space heating. Geothermal sources accounts for 66% of Iceland's primary energy use. Iceland is a leader of renewable energy resources. Over 99% of electricity production and almost 80% of total energy production in Iceland comes from hydropower and geothermal power. No other nation on Earth uses such a high proportion of renewable energy resources. Its capital city Reykjavik has been declared as the world's most sustainable city in the world. Iceland is one of the best places of the world to see aurora borealis or northern lights. It has an average of 200 nights per year with an aurora borealis. One of the best places to see the northern lights in Iceland is the Vatnajokull National Park. The best months are between October and March, around midnight. Number 20. What about Icelandic cuisine? Like in most of Scandinavia, the cuisine is inspired by the natural ingredients derived from natural sources such as the case of lamb. A traditional food in Iceland, take a lunch with kjötsuppa, Icelandic lamb soup. Or another delicacy like plokkfiskur or mashed fish stew. Or hakarl, that is, rotten shark. Or a delicious dessert, like its unique geyser bread ice cream with rye bread. Number 21. The current population of Iceland is 366,743 people. Iceland is a country with low population density. 3 people per square kilometer, 94.4% live in urban areas located at the south of the country. And Iceland has a high life expectancy rate, 83.5 years, is the number 10 in the world. Number 22. Talking about population. In 1996, only 5% of the population was of foreign origin, but currently the percentage has increased to 10.6%, which shows a 430% growth. Definitely the beauty, economic stability, and security of this country attract many immigrants, but not only that, the Icelanders are considered one of the most immigrant-friendly people in the world. 60% of them look favorably on those who emigrate from another part of the world to live in their beautiful country. The naming system in Iceland is the old Scandinavian system, where the father gives his children his first name as their last name, adding the suffix son if the child is a boy, and the suffix daughter if the child is a girl. For example, in a family where the father's name is Johan, if his son's name is Alvar, his full name will be Alvar Johansson, and his daughter is Anna Johandidur. Leave us your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so, and to share this video. And see you in our next exploration in search of wonders around our planet.